Welcome to Truly Rotten Potatoes. You know what I'm keen to do? Crack some fucking nuts. The Untold Story. Yeah. I'm here, as always, Mitch, your potato, Rastafari, here with Morgan.
Hey, it's me, Morgan, and I'm also here.
Welcome back. Welcome back, Morgan.
Thank you.
You know, good to have you. And then we got Hayden.
Hey, I'm here. I'm queer, and I couldn't drink any more beer.
Fuck yeah. And, of course, the host of Truly Rotten Potatoes, Declan Shrub.
Yes, Decky Doodah is in the house, and he's bringing his host skills. Thanks for having me, Mitch, as host.
You know what? I'm going to take the reins back. You know, I'm here.
You're queer.
To bring a little bit of, I'm here, queer.
You've gone clear.
I've got a beer. No, this isn't a beer. This is a pineapple UDL.
Really? I haven't seen a UDL in a hot minute. Love that.
What is UDL? What does that stand for?
Such a sick logo.
What's UDL stand for?
Ugly dick lesions, which he has all over his ugly dick.
Ultra deluxe light.
Undrinkable.
I do have quite an ugly penis, I think. Just so the listeners know. It's not nice.
Guys, who do you reckon's got the ugliest dick out of the four of us?
I feel like most penises are horrible to look at.
No, not as bad as this guy.
Oh, okay, cool.
You look at it, it's like one of those great whites that's been out there for too long, just scarred and sad.
Looks like Ron Howard's brother.
You know, Clint Howard. You know how when sharks have been in the water too long and they get all shriveled and wrinkly? That's what it looks like.
It was in the pool.
It shrinks. So yeah, we're here to talk about a little movie called Nutcracker 3D.
XL.
Untold Story.
XL.
XL.
Thank you.
Junkie.
Alpha.
Little less conversation, a little more action. Yeah, no, this was a movie from 2010, directed by a Russian person. I do not know their name. Starring Elle Fanning. Richard E. Grant was in this movie, known for Star Wars, the Rise of Skywalker.
He's
He's a poor man's Jeffrey Rush.
Okay.
He's just a poor man's Jeffrey Rush. Let's be honest.
I like Richard E. Grant.
But don't forget, we've also got Nathan Lane and John Turturro
Yes.
doing, I guess, really powerhouse performances.
So yeah, all-star cast, 3D. That's,
Yes.
I mean, you can't not love that.
Oh, and it's on Stan. So if you're listening to this podcast at home,
You can watch
and
along.
you're like, I can never get my hands on these, you can watch along.
Yeah.
Now let's give a little warning to our audience that this movie, because Stan does not have the feature where you can speed up the movie,
Or the 3D either.
or you can't turn on the 3D. It will bore a hole in your skull that you're never going to recover.
There's no
from.
escaping. And everyone knows once you turn something on Stan, you can't turn it off. It plays to the end. It takes over control over your TV, and it stays to the end.
It's true. When I was looking for the speed up function on Stan, I could only find loop. Loop was the only function that I could enable, and so yeah, it's just going ad nauseum now in my house.
Did everyone watch it?
Yeah, I just finished it.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
I had it on. Yeah. I made it to the end.
How much of it did you absorb?
I did it in 2 different sittings, about 10 days apart as well. I watched the first 52 minutes, and then I went back yesterday and watched the rest, and it doesn't get any better.
No.
The second half was worse than the first.
It doesn't get better than this. You're right.
How long was this?
Oh, it was nearly 2 hours.
Hour 48.
Well, it was an hour 40 when it ended. So
Oh, yeah.
Right. And so were you guys familiar with the story of the Nutcracker before watching this, or the ballet, or
No.
Not at all.
Right.
No.
So there's not much to this story. So
no.
Like I knew the
song.
the lyrics from the songs.
Dance to the
I
Sugar
was
Plum
familiar.
Fairy.
na na
That's the-
na na
yeah.
na 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 na. That's
They stayed
That's a
pretty true to
fresh
the
bit.
text
Yeah.
in those lyrics.
But so I'm not familiar with the Nutcracker. I know it's a ballet. I have some questions.
well. Look, my daughter has the Nutcracker book, which goes through all the individual parts, and you can press a little button on it. on each page, and it plays a little bit of, it's one of those interactive books. You press a little button, and it plays a little piece of the music, and then you turn the page. So please hit me.
Okay. So, at the very beginning of the movie, Einstein sings a song about relativity. Is that a part of the Nutcracker?
It's not in the book.
There's no way Einstein is in the Russian ballet, right? That his character doesn't exist in the pantheon of the Nutcracker universe.
I would assume not. In my understanding, it starts off just with Uncle Drosselmeyer coming home with the gifts for the children.
But in this, he's Uncle Albert. And he's clearly Albert Einstein.
So weird.
And there's a couple references to Freud as well. Freud's in there a couple times. We never see him.
Yeah.
But then he keeps saying, "Oh, have you talked to Freud about our daughter? She's fucked. She's fucked up. I want to talk to Freud."
A friend of mine said to me the other day, he's like, "How's this for one? Sigmund and Freud, and they get attacked by their own tiger that looks exactly like their mother."
That's good. That's pretty good.
What about Sigmund Freud Mayweather? That's the joke that keeps giving.
So I'm having a quick look at what the Nutcracker is, right? So the Nutcracker is from 1892. It's a 2-part ballet, and then and it's adapted from a story called The Nutcracker and the Mouse King. So that part of the story has made it into this movie. They've changed mice for rats, and they've made the rats Nazis.
Lot of Nazi imagery, like an insane amount of Nazi imagery in this movie.
That was the only part that I thought might actually resemble something of the original script. I thought there might have been a heavy Nazi presence in the Nutcracker, but apparently not.
Yeah, no, it was at least 40 years before the Nazis even came to prominence.
The Nazi cracker.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks, everyone. That's my joke for the day.
Woo!
Thank you.
Now, what would a Nazi cracker taste like?
It's sort of like a Jats, but it's spelled with an N. Nats.
I've heard that you can't eat just one of them. You have to eat 9.
Yes.
All right, so we've got our rat Hitler in John Turturro. He was both annoying and then very scary. So when I'm going to skip around this one because I don't feel like...
Much like Hitler himself. Annoying but scary.
And skipping around a lot.
So he would skip. He would skip with his little doggy. Anyway, no, I'm going to try to refrain from making Hitler jokes. So he can dislodge his jaw. He's got this weird elongated rat face. It reminded me of The Howling 3, The Rise of the Marsupial.
What else is John Turturro in?
Transformers, dude.
He's in a couple of Coen Brothers movies, isn't he?
Yeah, he was in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Big Lebowski?
He was in The Big Lebowski. He plays the Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, he was in Quiz Show. Quiz Show is a good movie. He was also in the prequel to Mac and Me, Mac, in 1992.
Man.
Oh, he was in the sixth installment of Girl 6. Secret Window. Oh, he's in the second Cars.
He reminds me a bit of Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
Like he's from the same era or something. I mean, Jeff Goldblum's got more charisma. So yeah, they do actually fully make him up to be like half rat man, right? Like he is the rat king.
Yeah.
Which something about the way they said rat in this movie like actually cracked me up numerous times. There was a scene towards the end where this monkey man was walking around with the girl and they read the newspaper about like how things are being ratified, and then he just said something like, "The Rat King wants to turn everyone rat."
Yeah, not long after that, he was like, "Where are we going? We're going into the rat world where there are rat cycles," or he said rat bikes. Everything, rat was a prefix for everything.
Yeah, I don't really understand what was happening in this movie.
Yeah. It was a kids movie, right? It was like an Alice in Wonderland, like the little girl kind of goes into this world of imagination, like in a closet or something. She has this puppet that comes to life, much like Pinocchio, which is all CGI wooden. Again, they made that error, which I find that a few of these 0%ers have made, where like it's for kids, but the anthropomorphic character is like hideous and scary, but they're kind of meant to be like funny and cute. Like the Pinocchio character, the NC, which stands for Nutcracker, by the way, was just like hideous to look at, and you'd sometimes hear its wooden feet clanking around, and I was like,
Jesus.
kids wouldn't like this. I don't like this.
Scary Nutcracker, man.
Voiced by the woman who played Moaning Myrtle in the Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets. She was also in Bridget Jones's Diary and probably the other Bridget Jones's movies. But I found this movie to have shades of Terry Gilliam in it as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Terry Gilliam's movies, you know, they're not great. I love them, but I can see the flaws in them as well. But yeah, it had that same sort of adventurous tone.
Yeah.
But for kids.
And so what happens, Elle Fanning is a little girl. She goes into the Nutcracker Kingdom with this puppet called NC that she finds is actually a boy who's been turned into a puppet by the Rat King, who's got powers, and his mum who's also just kind of like one of those old witchy women who everyone hates and is just rude to everyone but has rat powers. And yeah, she kind of goes into this world and, I don't know, explores and eventually turns the puppet back into a boy. And I didn't really get what the main rat guy's like. There was times where it was like, he wants to turn everyone rat, like that's his plan. Then there were times where it was like, he wants to break every child's toy in existence, like that's his plan. And I think he had a couple of other plans where he, like throughout this movie.
Yeah, they were afraid of the sun and they wanted to create a black cloud.
They wanted to block the sun out at the end. Yeah, it was like a total just like...
He just wanted to cause harm by the sounds of things.
Yeah, he's a pure evil guy and he wants to do bad things. I do want to say, though, I think this is the most expensive movie we've watched on the entire list. This budget was like $90 million.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's not a good story. Like, I don't understand why they tried to adapt it. The story is she falls asleep and has some weird dreams, and there's lots of people dancing, and then she wakes up and the Nutcracker is fixed by the uncle. Like, why would they try to extrapolate this into a 2-hour-long film? It's shit.
I don't know, and the brother as well had a penchant for breaking toys. I mean, by accident, admittedly, but in her dream,
it's Sean Penn, not Penchon.
Sorry, she has a Sean Penn for breaking people's toys. But within her dream, he learns a lesson to not do this. But it's within her dream that happens.
Yeah, right.
And then afterwards, we don't really get any follow-up as to whether he
had the same dream, learned a different moral in his dream, like not to abuse people. Who knows what he learned in his dream?
I was just going to bring it back to the toys because they round up all the toys and they're throwing them into big piles, and it looks like, you know, like the pile of books or pile of like Jewish people stuff. Like there was so many Holocaust allegories that it was like, I mean, after a while, I really did just put it on mute because it was too unbearable to have both going on. The soundtrack was, because I guess I'd heard all the songs before. I never knew the lyrics or anything like that, but with like Nazi imagery and seeing like black clouds in the sky, and they're like, the black clouds, they're burning all the toys. And it's like, well, in Nazi Germany, that's not what they were burning. And I can't think about anything else.
The Nazis knew not to take kids' toys.
Well, there's the other thing. It was like, to compare Nazis to rats, if you're watching Glorious Bastards, you know, Hans Lander compares the Jews to rats, and he says you have to think like a rat to be able to exterminate them. So I was a bit confused there. Is it the Jews or the Nazis who are rats?
That must have been the whole premise of the film, right? Is the guy's like, what if, you know, these Nazis were always calling the Jews the rats? What if I flipped that? What if really the Nazis were the rats? They were the bad ones. And then he constructed that into this film and for some reason added Albert Einstein as a major player.
It came out a year after Inglourious Bastards as well, so you could see that he was fuming about that.
Oh, shit.
It's sort of like the whole Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe thing, isn't it? It's the same fucking shit. It's like they have some fucking dream, or they go into some fantasy land and there's all these high stakes, but it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, they're making it all up in their delusional heads, and they're just going to wake up the next morning or come out of the closet in more than one way.
Yeah, it's just the ramblings of a child.
It's just nonsense, and why waste 2 hours of my time on that? Now, look, let's just go through this again. So we open up, the film is all in sort of sepia tone, There's the main character. She's running around out in the farm, and a hurricane hits the town. And the hurricane starts whizzing around. It lifts her and her doggy and all of the houses up from the ground.
But you're
Yes.
forgetting one major detail.
Yes.
Her son doesn't want to follow in her footsteps to play basketball. He's more interested in playing video games.
Right.
That's right. And she's like, listen, mate, you've got to stop fucking around. Why have you got your gaming console down on the basketball courts? I'm trying to teach you. You got to put your hours in. So finally, the tornado comes to an end. They all wake up on the basketball court, and it's no longer in sepia tone. It's all in full, beautiful color, and you're sort of hit with this moment of, wow, color film. What an invention. And also, is that Bugs Bunny in the background? I think it is.
I think it might be.
So then they sing a song about wishing that they had a brain. And then again, like, it's just the same shit, isn't it? Like, at the end of the movie, she wakes up. There was no basketball. There never has been basketball. It's not a real sport. And it was all a dream. And she says the classic line. And Charles Barkley was there. And Michael Jordan was there.
Bill Murray was
and
there.
Toto too.
Yeah. And then her auntie slaps her and says, "You're just a wannabe who looks like him."
Guys, I gotta come clean. I didn't watch this movie. Sorry.
They keep referring to it as rat ball as well, which I found very,
That was weird.
very disarming.
Yeah.
No, but we actually start at an ice skating rink, I believe.
Okay.
That's the detail that I remember. They're ice skating. There's, it's a very fancy ice skating rink with waiters, and they've got champagne glasses that they're offering to the children, which is what you would do in whatever country this movie's meant to be set. That's the other thing. The children are played by American actors. Their parents are played by Brits. And for some reason, their uncle is Einstein.
So
He's
bizarre.
German.
You know what's a weird detail? They don't really bring it up, but Einstein was Jewish. And so, and around.
He had some run-ins with the Nazis back in the day. I was watching the show Genius, and that's all about Einstein. And him and those Nazis did not get along.
Well,
You know,
exactly.
he had to leave.
All right, so I don't want to spend too much time on the nitty gritty, the details. It's the Nutcracker. It's the Nutcracker with some Nazi stuff.
And I'm not spending too much time on it, because every 3 months, a Nutcracker gets pulled apart in North Queensland.
What? So what do they actually like? Is there?
May 1,000 basketball games proceed.
What happens once they go into the fantasy land? Is it like because according to the book I've read, it's just like a series of different dances. Like they bring out like some candies and they do a dance, and then they bring out some sugar plum fairies and they do some dance.
There's some of that. There's
they bring
definitely
out-
some of that.
Oh, I remember seeing a portion of the Nutcracker in the Little Rascals. That might be the only time that I've seen that.
But that's all that happens. She goes into the world. She sits down and has like a bunch of beautiful performances put on for her, and then she goes back out of the world with the Nutcracker, and the Nutcracker is no longer broken.
So she goes in the world. She's got this guy called NC. He's the puppet man. He takes her through this door, which is into this mansion in a crazy world of like magic trees. And there's a house, and there's noises coming, and people are
Alice
banging.
in Wonderland as well. It's
Yes,
all
yeah.
shit.
And the light is all shimmering. It's actually like quite an expensive movie, and it looks quite nice. I just thought some of the rats really looked hideous. They all had like prosthetics on their faces. The puppet was creepy. You know, she finds her mother in this shiny ball gown, and she's like, "I'm the snow fairy." And then she's like, "You can join the dance, you know." And then she's like, "But I can't fly like you." And then she's like, "How do you know if she's never tried?" And then so she walks along. The little girl walks along this high wooden balance beam thing, like up in these trees or whatever, and then falls down, but then she's flying, and then it's kind of like Aladdin or whatever. They're flying around like I've always dreamed of. There's fairies and apparitions and monkeys that smoke and read the paper. It's just one of these, you know, batshit crazy.
Is it just like she just moves between like
kids' imagination movies?
potential danger onto next potential danger onto next potential danger kind of thing, and then finally it climaxes and she wins? Like, I'm just trying to understand what the fuck they filled this movie with.
Yeah, I mean, she also meets 3 totally unnecessary inhabitants of a dollhouse, which I guess are the same ones that she has in her real dollhouse that Albert Einstein brings her at the beginning of the film.
Is it actually Albert Einstein, or are you shitting?
100%.
Yeah,
Nathan
he
Lane
keeps talking
plays
about
Albert
theory
Einstein.
of relativity.
Yeah.
He draws E equals MC squared on the whiteboard when he's singing that horrible song to them.
Yeah.
I thought that was the only detail I could latch onto.
Yeah. Do you remember there's a part later on where the little girl's dad, who's not a huge character in it, but he comes to his brother, Albert Einstein. Maybe it's his brother-in-law, but he's like, hey, Albert Einstein, I know you love coming over here and like playing with my daughter and putting crazy thoughts into her imagination, but I'm basically going to have to ask you to never do that again. Because she's gone, like she's too imaginative now.
I believe
and then
his
Albert
exact words
Einstein's
are, she's gone loco.
Albert Einstein basically is like, okay, yep, I totally understand how you feel. Let me just quickly sing you a song, and he sings him this song, and then he pulls out. It's basically a song about how when that guy was a child, he used to have this like pet rock or whatever, like a small pebble that he loved and stuff, and it ends with the dad just crying, and then he's like, you know what, you can still come around here, like imagination is really important to a child. And then this actually happens, and I think it's the only time that it happens is Albert Einstein like walks out of the scene, and then he goes into another room, and it shows him with like 20 pebbles in his pockets, and he's like, he looks at the camera and just says something like, oh, I'm glad I brought my lucky pebbles today.
The only other time he looks at the camera is when he's riding a horse and carriage to their house very early in the film, and he says like,
Yeah.
I think that somebody might be following me. And then he looks over his shoulder and he's like, oh, they're not. Now I feel a little bit left out or something. But yeah, he doesn't address the camera at any point again. And also Richard E. Grant, the dad, when he sings that song about the pebble, and the song is about the pebble as well, he says at the end of it, I built that whole pirate ship all by myself. There's no context to that whatsoever. It's like, what are you talking about? He sung your song about a pebble.
So Hayden, basically, once they're in the world and they've just, been introduced to different characters and songs and fairies and stuff, then you get that classic thing where she's like, what's that up there? And they're like, that's the dark side of the sky. That was once the city before the Rat King took it over from this prince who is actually the boy who's the puppet. He was like the prince of this city. And then they show this like flashback of the army coming in, and that's the first time it goes just like full Nazis in their like grey outfits, and the rat guys take over, and just like it starts with this big building being destroyed, and it's like a from the ground drills up this giant metal like transformer building with all these Nazi soldiers and stuff. Yeah, John Turturro plays his villain, his Rat King, as like a blonde anime villain with like a really bad rat prosthetic nose. Mm-hmm. And he hears that the prince is alive, and then he's like, what? But we turned him into a puppet. And then he goes to his disgusting mother, who is like a balding feral woman, and he's like, the prince is still alive. I thought you turned him into a puppet or killed him or whatever. And then she bites his neck, her own son's neck, in anger. She gives him this rat mama bite. And then she also drinks this green liquid and turns the kid back into a puppet. So that's kind of like the first 40 minutes.
Yeah, I thought that was a man for a very long time. I thought that was a man.
And so I guess like
balding.
the rest of the movie is them trying to destroy the Rat King and turn the puppet back into a boy, a la Pinocchio.
Pretty much.
Or the brand for the prince to take control of the dark sky again or something.
Yeah.
Does that sound right? Have I got this?
Yeah, but unfortunately, there's this whole plot with they have to take the dollhouse people with them because the rats are going to find them. And then the Nutcracker takes two of the dolls, and the monkey, the chimp doll goes with the girl, and they're chased by robot rat dogs. And
robot rat dogs.
Rat dogs, as we all know, can bite through anything.
Mecha rat dogs. Oh yeah, let's count them off. Who we got in the dollhouse? You've got the Club Lime guy who plays the drum for some reason. Then you've got the guy from Little Britain who is dressed up like a clown. It's not actually him.
Yeah.
And then someone else. Oh, the Monkey Man.
Planet of the
Monkey
Apes.
Man. They serve very little purpose for the story. I believe he's the one who alerts them to the fact that he wants to turn everyone rat. Rat King wants to turn everyone rat. Yeah, and that's the movie.
That is the movie.
What's the problem with everyone going rat? Maybe everyone would get along better if they all become rats. It's not like he wants to kill them. He just wants them to be rats.
And honestly, the rat guys were just doing their jobs.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So a lot of people said that about the Nazis. Yeah.
Damn
Just
it.
following orders.
There was also... So there's this, like, we might have already talked about her. There's this snow queen or something.
Fairy, yeah.
Who appears as a sort of ghost visage, yeah. And she's played by the same actress that plays her mother. So there's that other thing that a lot of children's movies done where children enter a dream sequence and people from their real life are then manifested in the dream as other characters.
Quite literally,
so this mother,
it's just a fairy godmother, but it's like, but you are my real mother as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like my mother died when I was a child and I never got to meet her and you are like the apparition version of that. It's just... But my mum's out there, and then there's a snow fairy version of her in here. All right, whatever.
But just like in The Lion King where Mufasa comes up into the clouds, or, you know, Darth Vader appears to Luke and gives him advice, or whoever it is, Obi-Wan Kenobi. And they, you know, they always have some sage advice at that crucial moment when they've lost all hope. The little girl is just about to save NC from going into the furnace. And then the fairy godmother appears for the second time in the movie, and she's like, oh, I don't know what to do. They beat me last time. And then the little girl goes, well, what am I meant to do? And her parting words are, I don't know. Quite literally, that's what happens.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of interest in talking about this movie much further. It was real hard to watch. I could maybe see putting it on for, like, you know, a 6-year-old kid and just being like, here, you watch TV, I'm going to go bang your mum or whatever. and that might work. But as an adult, as someone who prides themselves,
you're going to have to put on something
like,
something way more interesting if you want to bang my mum. Put on The Matrix.
All right. Well,
Put on The Matrix. That's my Dave Hughes. Is that coming along?
put on the Matrix.
This is Dave Hughes as I'm coming around to his house to bang his mum. Oh, Uncle Hayden, put on The Matrix. No, put on The Matrix, Hayden.
This is Dave Hughes coming to your house to bang your mum and being like,
no. It's me going to his house to bang his. Because he'd be the one putting it on so that I get distracted. I'm going to his house. He's like, oh, Uncle Hayden, did you bring The Matrix again? Go on, put it on. Put on The Matrix. He's got a speech impediment in my mind.
In the whole country's mind.
And now here's my Judith Lucy. Put on the... No, I'm not going to do that. What
Put
about...
on The Matrix.
Yeah.
all right. Memorable.
And hi everyone, it's John Howard, and I'm just coming around to put on The Matrix.
What Dave Hughes thinks is The Matrix is actually the 2005 Melbourne International Comedy Festival.
This part's great. Here's when I say the joke.
When my daddy puts The Matrix on, I know he's banging my mom. He's giving her those bangers and mash, so to speak.
Oh dear. So should we talk about Space Jam then? Because I watched
let's
most
quickly
of
go
that.
through the ratings. I give this movie a 1.
Nice. Yeah, I'm going to go with 1.5.
All right, I'm going to top you guys by going 1.8. It had some charm, but it kept going and it got bad.
I didn't watch it, but it sounds fucking It sounds like I dodged a bullet, honestly. And I don't think I ever intended to watch it, so I'm going to give it a 1.
You went bullet time and dodged the
The Matrix.
Just like Greg Fleet
speaking
did
of
at
the
Melbourne
Matrix,
International
though,
Comedy
speaking
Festival.
of the Matrix,
Come on and slam and welcome to the jam.
yeah, there was some bad shit in this movie. So Space Jam 2, is it called Space Jam 2?
A New Legacy.
Space Jam 2, A New Legacy.
Yeah.
And
A new Lakers
and
seat?
boy, was
That
it
doesn't
a
really
new seat
work,
at the
does it?
Lakers.
That's right. The whole movie is about like whether they can fit one extra seat in the Lakers stadium.
All the Looney Tunes.
We gotta get this seat in there.
All the Looney Tunes are coming to LeBron, and they're just like, "We want courtside tickets, LeBron." That's my Bugs Bunny, and now let me do my
That's
Daffy
good.
Duck. We want courtside tickets, LeBron.
That sounds a lot like Dave Hughes.
You get a courtside ticket, so I bang your mom and put the Matrix on.
My kids will never let me put on Space Jam proper. I'm always trying to pop, because it's not been on Netflix forever, and I'm always like, today when we put the TV on, it's going to be something we can all enjoy. Space Jam. And I start it, and they're like, what the fuck is this? No, Dad, not Space Jam, Dad. And whenever I say that I get to pick the TV show now, they just go, we're not watching Space Jam. And they haven't even seen it. They just hate it because I tried to watch it once. Anyway, long story short. That's crap, because Space Jam 1 is awesome, right?
So it goes from being like a...
Yeah, I mean, did you show them Basketball Jones?
I didn't show them Basketball Jones.
That's the evolution of a movie.
Get them on board with the soundtrack first. Just start playing it all around the house.
It takes too long. It takes too long to get into Toon World, and I think that's when they'd actually start enjoying it. There's too much like, oh, here's Michael Jordan, and he plays baseball, and he's a father, and stuff like this, and there's too much like, oh, who gives a shit?
So you're saying in your house, Space Jam has gone from a beloved movie as a childhood, and then a generation later, it's like, Dad, please don't put on Space Jam, anything but Space Jam.
And so I thought, like, oh, maybe I'll try and, I just this Sunday gone, thought, oh, I'll put on the new one because it looks fresher, it looks brighter, it might have better sensibilities for the kids to get into it faster, and then I'll be able to backtrack to Space Jam 1 because they'll enjoy this one. And it did hold their attention more. They were a little bit more interested in it, but someone else in the room was very much not interested in it, and his name is Hayden. It sucked.
There's probably a way to cleverly cut the two movies together so that they wouldn't know.
Now, okay, for the uninitiated, Morgan, can you tell people what's Space Jam? What's the Space Jam about?
Space Jam is a movie that stars, in its first iteration, Michael Jordan, and in its latter iteration, Larry
Emder.
Larry Bird?
Right.
Larry Bird.
Larry David.
Larry Emder.
LeBron James.
LeBron James. And it's, the second one is about LeBron James wanting his son to play basketball, but of course he's only interested in playing video games. But at the same time...
And making them.
He makes video games, and he's made a rather clever iteration of Rat Ball, or should I say basketball.
I think Rat Ball is correct. Points. When they round all the Jews up and make them throw balls at each other.
Rat Ball. Rat Jam.
Rat Jam.
Rat Jam.
The sequel to Rat Race.
He makes a version of the game called Rat Jam, and then they go in and they find that Mr. Toon himself, Bugs Bunny, has been stranded in Toon World. All his friends left him for reasons that I can't quite remember, and which I think the movie forgot as well, because they
whose
didn't
friends
take up
had left
that story again. Yeah, go on.
They do.
Toon Squad.
Mr. Toons himself.
Oh, Bugs Bunny.
Bugs Bunny.
Because,
everybody abandoned him.
Because, what's Mr. Toon's name? What's his, algorithm, because he's an algorithm.
The algorithm.
Oh, that guy.
Don
yeah.
Cheadle.
Essentially, he wants to destabilize the Looney Tunes.
Well, he wants to de-sex them as well.
Yeah, and he neuters them all.
Because that was the problem with all those early tiny... You know how they have to put those warnings at the start of old cartoons? Now this is a product of its time and stuff. I mean, it's just, they're all fucking in those early Tiny Toons films. And
it did actually seem like they de-sexed Bugs Bunny and Lola.
Oh, they...
though. Like, the chemistry was much less.
I had to explain to my girlfriend that Lola Bunny was like a sexual awakening for a lot of kids. And she was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, have you seen what Lola Bunny looks like? And I'm like Googling images of like hot Lola Bunny to show her. I mean, Googling as in looking at the saved folders on my phone already, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did take some steps to maybe just, bring her curves in a little more realistically in this movie.
Well, they also redesigned her face. I noticed her face is just that little bit. She's got like a longer mouth.
I got to be honest, Mitch. I wasn't looking at her face.
Yeah, she had a little moustache just here,
small little pencil moustache,
just a tiny little moustache.
I shaved one of those moustaches onto my face quite recently and left it for at least an hour. It was very funny.
Just for one work meeting.
Yeah, well, I said to Georgina, because she hadn't seen it, she was like, oh, I'm getting yelled at not to be racist on the podcast. Never mind.
What?
Not by us, you're not. We encourage it.
Never mind. I just think that it's funny.
Well, Michael Jordan had that mustache for a while, a few years back. Do you remember?
Yeah, exactly.
He was doing some commercials, maybe for like Heinz Beans or something, and he was rocking the Hitler or the Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah, that was weird.
And now I'm getting a message saying no Nazi jokes on my phone.
Oh, you didn't hear the first half of this podcast.
Yeah, we were calling them rats for like 30 minutes.
Can I just say with Space Jam 2, The Force Awakens, the guy, there's the kid, he wants to make video games. His dad, LeBron, is too hard on him, and he's like, you have to go to basketball camp. He's like, no way, I'm going to E3 to show off my new demo and be part of a game jam or some shit. And he's like, no, you made a commitment to basketball land. Anyway, then, for some reason, LeBron takes this same kid into like an executive Hollywood meeting with Warner Brothers Studios, and Warner Brothers come to them and they say, we've got this great idea. It's you turned into a digital avatar, and we will like then be able to like implant you into movies from here on in. So imagine you in the Marvel comic book maybe universe, or no,
all the Warner Brothers movies,
all the Warner Brothers shit. So imagine you in Matrix, imagine you in Harry Potter, imagine this, that, the other,
Game of Thrones.
Yep. And meanwhile, there's an algorithm, so a computer program watching him, spying on LeBron James in this meeting, going like, gee, what's he think of my idea that I've pulled together? Because it was actually the algorithm's idea to do this, to sort of pull him into the Warner Brothers universe. And LeBron thinks it's a terrible idea. Algorithm is watching from within a computer through like a webcam, and he's like, gets very offended. And so what he does is he somehow traps both LeBron and his son and sucks them into the Warner Brothers serververse, or the servers. And he's like, fuck you, LeBron James. How dare you be rude about my idea? Now you're stuck in the serververse forever. However, I'll let you go if you can beat me at basketball. And I guess like the reason he's doing that is because the algorithm really wants to get heaps of eyeballs on Warner Brothers. So he's like, this'll bring heaps of eyeballs. I'll host a basketball game between LeBron James, the best basketballer in the world, and a bunch of like superstars that I pull together, and it'll be a ratings hit, right? Have I got that right?
Yeah. At this point, the pattern is established amongst the NBA community that if you're the best basketball player at the time, you will have a Space Jam movie made about you. Like the first time, it was kind of a joke. The second time now, it's undeniable. So in 20 years' time, that's the goal. It's not about how many grand slams at Wimbledon you win, or how many goalies you kick.
How many Super Bowl rings you've got.
So if you finally bring the Ashes home.
You want to be good at basketball. You want to win your premierships and whatever else, your MVPs, but you have to time it 20 years from now. You want to be at the top of your game at that point so they can make the next Space Jam.
That's right.
Now, the Looney Tunes popular? I don't think kids really know the Looney Tunes anymore, right? Like they're kind of
they're done.
Irrelevant.
I'll just say, okay, the perfect storm is Space Jam. You've got Michael Jordan. He's actually retired, but he has come back to the NBA. So
he just had a learning disability. He's not retarded.
I think they got Michael Jordan in between the time where he had retired and before he came back to basketball.
So wait, you can get healed from being retarded.
Come on.
Sorry, I'm thinking of OJ.
All right.
Yeah, I just read his book. He gets to the chapter where he poses his hypothetical about if he did it. And you're like, well, the thing is, if I did it,
I would have been retarded.
I'm retarded. The end. Yeah.
Okay. So he was entering.
Yes, he's retired.
Back into the NBA when they'd sort of courted him. To my understanding, I just watched The Last Dance in preparation.
Yeah. Because he was using filming Space Jam as like him getting match fit again. Remember, he kept having people come to the set, and he would just be playing like 5-on-5 all the time, getting ready
they're meant
for
to
the
be
new
like
season.
the best games of basketball ever because they're like all stars.
So the other thing is that syndicated television, like the Looney Tunes, was still on TV. Like I remember growing up watching the Looney Tunes.
Mm-hmm.
Even though that's a show from like the 30s to what 60s.
Yeah, I'm not
or
sure,
whatever.
but yes, it's
So,
older.
and then you've got like Wayne Knight and Bill Murray. So the movie's instantly going to have at least like watchability. You got a Danny DeVito villain. But the other thing is that animation didn't just like crap off. They put a lot of effort into it. Like they watched Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and you know, it's not a perfect movie, but the soundtrack bangs. Michael Jordan can't act, but it doesn't matter because it's Michael Jordan. No one gives a shit.
Mm-hmm. It's also not 2 hours long.
Yeah.
Like this new one was incredibly long.
Yeah, it was.
There's also, you know,
And convoluted.
even if they don't land in the first movie, there's a lot of jokes, like a lot of gags, and Looney Tunes was, as far as I can tell, like kind of funny.
Yeah.
This second one, there were no like visual gags. There was no wordplay or anything like that.
I think you're completely right, Mitch. I think that like the first one was
Well, that was me.
You're right, Mitch. The first one was like the culmination of the zeitgeist. Like they took the zeitgeist kinda and like sort of pulled it together and said, blah, here's the perfectly timed release of this movie that is like structured in a quintessential like late 90s beat for beat sort of structure, and it works perfectly and it's good. Whereas this is, remember Space Jam? Well, we're doing it again. And so like it's trying to profit off the back of something, you know, that's sort of cyclical, whereas the original was a confluence of lots of things that were happening in the moment in the zeitgeist, right? So this one doesn't track because it's just like, hey, nostalgia, but it's a fucking kids movie, so none of the kids remember Space Jam and none of the kids remember Looney Tunes.
Yeah,
But kids do love video games and algorithms.
Yeah, but there's the difference, the generational split. It's like it's been too long for kids to enjoy it, but now it has to be good for adults. And so it has all these weird references to like Casablanca and Austin Powers, which is a great movie, but it's like 20 years old as well. And Casablanca is maybe even 21 years old at least. So you've got these weird things where you're like, there's no way a kid is gonna understand why like Porky Pig is showing up in this old movie or whatever.
Yeah.
As Mini-Me and Austin Powers. Like, it makes no sense.
It was so dumb. It was so there was like a series of like, so Bugs Bunny for some reason was in Toontown or whatever the fuck it's called, and he's all by himself, and Algae Rhythm has allegedly like dispersed all the other toons into different universes for God knows what reason. And so Bugs Bunny's like, hey, LeBron, welcome to town. We got to pull together a team. You have to help me rescue them all. And they go between Warner Brothers universes, rescuing them all. So, for example, the grandmother who looks after Tweety Bird was in a scene from The Matrix. She was Trinity in that opening scene.
Yeah.
And they, like, you know, they animated the characters over the top of the actual film.
Yeah.
And then they had Mini-Me. They had Elmer Fudd as Mini-Me in that scene where Mini-Me is first introduced in Austin Powers. It was just so jarring.
Just horrible.
And like the joke of one of them was fucking what's the Game of Thrones, and the joke of that one was just that the fucking rooster just said winter is coming.
Yeah.
Ha, 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 ha.
Well, okay. My favorite one from the popular children's movie Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah.
Wile E. Coyote holds up a sign that says, witness me, and then he sprays his mouth with silver spray paint and attacks a car with, I guess, Roadrunner in it? Or tries to attack Roadrunner.
That was sick.
Yeah, that part I didn't mind, and I guess that's because I don't really like Mad Max, but I understood the reference. So if you understand the reference and you don't love the original content, you're like, oh, cool, yeah, all right. But all the other ones, like, why? Don't do that to my Matrix.
Yeah.
Don't do that to my
This
Trinity.
is a kid's movie. No kid is watching The Matrix.
I was sitting there with my kids, and they're like, what the hell is all of this, Dad? The only part they kind of got is like when they saw the Harry Potter universe, which they didn't utilize anything from
They
Harry
didn't use
Potter.
it at all.
No,
Yeah.
I'm like,
how do you do Austin Powers and Casablanca instead of Harry Potter? Like, how does that
I
make sense?
know. Well, maybe they couldn't. They kind of got some of the, because they went into like one of the Superman world or some shit at some point.
Yeah.
And they kind of they got the references. So the only references that my 8-year-old got was like So I'm like, there's Bugs Bunny. And she's like, who the fuck's Bugs Bunny? And I said, Violet, do not speak to me like that. I told you about swearing in the house. She's like, shut the fuck up, bitch. Then she lit up in front of me.
She just lit up, sparked up a joint.
She's ridiculous. But I love her.
Well, you have to.
And, no, so there was the superhero universe stuff, but also like they kept saying LeBron, because they show in the start of the movie LeBron as a kid. And she was like, eventually they said LeBron James. She goes, oh, I know LeBron James. I'm like, really? How the fuck do you know? I don't even know LeBron James. She's like, yeah, he's a basketballer. I'm like, all right. Well, I guess that's a name that's going around school.
And that's the point where Hayden's like, oh shit, this movie is going to have some basketball in it. I didn't know who the fuck this guy was.
Yeah, I thought it was just some actor.
Yeah, you're like, I've just never seen this guy.
Also, Austin Powers is already a parody of James Bond, of the video game 007 GoldenEye.
Yeah, that's right.
So you guys didn't seem to like this movie at all, right?
No.
Like, I thought the stuff of them going through the different worlds, especially the cartoony Looney Tunes stuff, I actually found it really entertaining. I was like, man, I miss this kind of just like physical slapstick cartoony humor, you know, like drawing on a rock and drawing like a road down it, and then one character runs down it and then another smashes into the rock.
Doesn't that exact gag happen in the first one?
Oh yeah, and it happens numerous times in the original Looney Tunes. That was the only part that sort of stayed true to the Tunes verse. I really wanted to. I was open to liking it and accepting some gags. And I still think Daffy Duck's kind of funny.
But he
like when he
wasn't.
sa's mother. That's still very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he wasn't funny. He
No.
He didn't have opportunity. And like they didn't have the, you know, like the Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck sort of antagonistic brotherly thing going on at all. That's such a strong part of that first movie, where Daffy Duck sort of wants to lead the team, but Bugs Bunny's, you know, he's Mr. Toons.
I think that the Space Jam 1, as soon as you get into Toonville or whatever the fuck it's called, and you are given
Toonie Town,
you're given all of the characters, and they're all there, and they're all playing on their existing tropes. It was like writers for Looney Tunes were in the writers' room, and they were like, all right, yes, we want to write this and pay perfect homage to what these cartoons were. In this case...
Yeah, but they're all like 90 years old now. They're like, wouldn't it be funny if...
What was Bugs Bunny do? Is he a bunny? Is he the bunny?
What's up, Doc?
Does he eat a carrot? That's funny.
What do you guys think of seeing all the Looney Tunes in like new 3D animation once they left the 2D world and they went to the 3D world?
Horrifying.
Yeah, so I didn't watch all of it, so I didn't see that. Didn't know that happened. I'm going to
That's
Google
like
it now.
the whole second half of the movie.
Yeah, that's around about when I tapped out and went and washed the dishes.
What did you think when the dishes turned from 2D to 3D when you like submerged them in water?
I came so I walked out once they'd assembled their team, and then I came back in when they were in the middle of a basketball game, and then I think I paused it and saw there were 40 minutes left and turned it off.
So did you see when Michael Jordan came like into the
Are
movie?
you shitting me? Does that really happen?
Yeah.
So no, it's like in between the third and fourth quarter, they go to do that whole thing where they have Michael's secret sauce,
Yeah.
but that doesn't happen obviously. But they have to come up with some plan. They're like, "What are we going to do?" And then they show some feet, like walking down, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, it's him!"
They're like, I found Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
Really?
And they're all like,
And then
they're all
Michael-
watching.
And then Michael Jordan walks
yeah,
in.
but it's Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, wait, is it actually?
Yeah, it
The
was
actor
good.
Michael
That's a
B.
funny
Jordan.
gag.
It's Michael
I like
B.
that.
Jordan. Yeah, it's kind of
You know what? It would have been a funny gag, but I think
But we all
that
guessed it.
this movie just didn't, like, none of the jokes really land. I think the 2D animation looked really cheap.
Just didn't look great, did it?
No way. I'm so off with this, guys. I can't take it anymore. The 2D stuff was awesome.
It missed.
No.
I loved it. The only problems I had was that the movie was too long, and it took too long for them to play basketball in it. Everything else ruled. I enjoyed myself the whole time.
Was it good when it went 3D?
I liked it.
You know
When
what?
I came back
No.
and they were playing the game, they were back in 2D, weren't
Nah. The game's all 3D.
they? Oh, maybe I just didn't
No,
fucking
3D.
notice. They were clearly in 3D when that
They
happened.
looked fine. Like it wasn't like how people talk about Sonic and like, oh look, he's all
Yeah,
3D.
yeah.
I don't like it. It's like, no.
How did I just not notice that it wasn't in cartoon anymore? That's weird.
I don't know. Maybe you didn't care enough.
Maybe I was on my 7th beer for the Sunday.
I think, okay, I'm going to go through and I'm going to give Declan a chance to argue why these things may have been good. And I like that we're not on the same page with this, but I also don't know how you liked this movie. So LeBron James is not a great lead. He's not.
LeBron James was good.
But neither was Michael Jordan, though, and it still worked.
I disagree.
Okay.
It seemed like LeBron James recorded one scream. So, like all those times when the Looney Tunes fall off cliffs and stuff like that, and then they have to show the cartoon version, he'd just be like, "Ah!" and they just use that scream like 50 times throughout the movie.
He was a little bit annoying in that, he wasn't good. He did okay.
Well, then you've got Algae Rhythm and the entire fucking Warner Brothers archive coming out for the basketball.
I loved it.
It was like, remember
That was
Ready
fun.
Player One?
Yep, I loved that
just
too.
having every character that they could possibly have in, but they didn't really have lines. It was just all the Hanna-Barbera characters are coming.
I liked looking in the background of all the basketball scenes and being like, hey, there's the agents from The Matrix. There's the nun from the Conjuring movies in this kid's movie. This rules. Just
That was the only fun part, to see Agent Smith holding his ear and talking to somebody while Voldemort is right next to him. Just going, for no reason.
That sounds all right.
It was fun.
They had the Clockwork Orange guys there as well.
Really?
Yeah.
They had
And they did
It's just such an
Pennywise.
odd combination of things.
they
Fred
did show
Flintstone.
a couple of shots of the Monstars, the shrunken versions of the
I remember
Monstars.
seeing them, yeah.
They showed them celebrating when the bad guys were winning, which makes no sense because at the end of Space Jam 1, the Monstars were like, we want to be like you guys, and they're meant to join the Toon City, as I like to call it.
Well,
Yes.
so the Monstars are literally cut frames from the original Space Jam.
Yeah,
which is-
because it was the same audio and stuff, wasn't it? I felt like the line was something I remember from the movie.
But they're the
From the original.
They're the only characters that are 2D. Everyone else got 3D. There was just no 3D model of them.
Yeah.
It must have been a late edition.
It was weird. It was weird and sloppy.
It seems really ham-fisted. The whole thing seems really ham-fisted, and they were just throwing as much shit at the wall as possible. And some of it, I don't know, if they had just spent another year refining it and rewriting, maybe it could have succeeded. Because what you're talking about now, I kind of like the premise. I like the idea of all of those people in the audience and it playing right, but it didn't. I don't know. It didn't play right.
No.
It was shit.
And then the players on the opposite team were...
Yeah, who were they?
So they were meant to be, I guess, famous basketball, some male and female basketball players, and they each had special abilities. One of them, I think their name was Fire Water, or Fire Ice. Literally, that was their name. And they could... Hot ice?
No, wet.
Hot cold.
Wet fire.
Wet, yeah.
Wet dry.
Wet fire. Oh, I see. It's like hot fire, but wet. I don't even see. But their ability was water and fire, and then one of them could slow down time, and then the other guys were just really good. There wasn't any consistency.
But was Wet Fire is Wet Fire and Slow Down Time Man? Are they well-known Warner Brothers villains or something?
No.
No.
Wet Fire is meant to be a well-known female basketball player, which she was played by
in the real world.
Yeah, in the real world.
Yeah.
I don't know how she got dragged in.
How did? Okay, so
Don't explain
in
that.
the original Space Jam, they take the famous basketball players, put them in a basketball, and then these little monsters take their traits. But in this case,
They're just there.
Somehow they just end up in the universe and have wings or can, turn into water for some reason. It's never explained how they get those powers.
Algae Rhythm now has control of his son's game, and that's how he convinces the son to
that's
play
right,
on his
in
team,
his
being
game.
being like, your dad doesn't appreciate you, but because he can mod himself, the kid gives himself super basketball abilities.
Mm-hmm.
They also modify the models of all the other players.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. See, I kind of liked the whole that the scoring was different and it had computer game or video game scoring
Style points.
and stuff like this. So yeah, I liked that premise, but again, everything else was just falling flat around it, and it made some of these kind of interesting ideas. Why am I actually like critiquing Space Jam 2? What?
Because that's your job.
What am I doing with my life?
Just admit it. You don't like Speedy Gonzalez. I get it.
Just think he's lazy.
There wasn't enough Nazis in it for Hayden.
You wanted more Marvin the Nazi.
I don't know. Maybe I'll finish this movie.
What about the Warner Brothers executives? You had Steven Yeun, you had Sarah Silverman. They didn't get to do much.
Fun enough, I guess.
Who were the commentators?
Oh, they were funny. At least one of them was.
Were they
for-
just real
for 5
commentators?
seconds. I guess so.
There was one was a real commentator and one was Lil Rel from Get Out and
Right.
Bad
Yes.
Trip.
He's in everything now.
Yeah, he's doing real well.
I just
for
saw a
himself.
trait. He's in the movie called Vacation Buddies. I think that's just coming out on Disney.
I got to hand it to that guy. He was definitely meant to be funny.
I found one of his jokes funny.
Okay, so LeBron against Michael. Michael wins. Soundtrack?
No.
This movie did not have a memorable soundtrack.
Yes,
No,
that's
and
true.
the music when they were like the bridging music when they were bringing together the team, like it kept going back to the spaceship after they'd acquired another person. There'd be this very boppy, adequate, almost like the kind of stock music you put behind your YouTube videos when you're a successful YouTuber. You're like, "What's up, guys? It's Hayden here, and we're gonna learn how to clean your keyboard. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you on the other side of the gap." And then it rolls the music, and it's like,
Yeah, it felt like they were avoiding hip hop for a very long time. Like, I wanted a bit more hip hop, and then obviously they dropped that track later on with what's his name doing the rap, that horrible little pig man.
Yeah, they have a rap battle in the middle of the movie.
Yeah, that was
where
bad.
Porky Pig has to drop a fat freestyle.
nice.
I'll give you that. Porky Pig does not have bars.
I cringed into my own body. You can't. And
One moment that maybe wasn't hitting on 100% all cylinders doesn't make the movie bad.
The one moment.
Okay? Because, Mitch, what about this? What about when Rick and Morty show up?
I saw that
fuck
too.
no.
Morty, you gotta suck my dick, Morty. The Toon Squad's gotta all suck my dick, Morty.
it just
Yeah, that was a little off color.
like it doesn't fucking make sense. Why is that there? That's not for children. It just I fucking okay. The last thing that didn't work, there was more things comparable, but the comedy in the first one to the comedy in the second one, the first one, jokes land. Second one, can anyone give me a joke?
The jokes landed because you were 7 years old, Mitch. If you go back and watch it,
Yeah, but I mean,
it's not
Maybe.
it's just as unfunny as this one. I'm telling you.
But there are so many parallels. Like there's even a Newman character in this new movie. So the guy who's trying to enter Toontown through the whole movie, he's in the serververse. Everybody else has been sucked into the serververse. He's like, "Come on, take me. I want to go in there." Problem is, he's not massively obese. He's also he's not trying to dig a hole
That's
through a
right.
golf
That's a
course
huge
to get
problem.
in there. Yeah, well, those were funny things.
Yes.
And now it's just a guy being like, "Come on, I want to go in there."
Okay, I guess my final comparison is the two basketball games. Now, granted, this one wasn't exactly basketball, but they had an opportunity to do some good gags. The original, I can think of like, when he splats Daffy and he's like, can you take me to school today? Or the Pulp Fiction bit. Or, I don't know. I mean, Pulp Fiction isn't for children. I'm sort of arguing against my own points now. But
Inconsistent.
what I will say, I can remember that so many points of the game part. Michael stretching his arm out the whole way. Amazing.
Yeah.
This movie has one very memorable game point in that when the kid designed the game, he wanted to put in LeBron's backward jump shot, right? He jumps in the air backwards and shoots the jump shot. But it crashes the game and deletes his character for some reason because this kid can't code for shit.
Loser.
So he realizes that to beat Algae Rhythm, because he switches teams, because there's a long scene where Don Cheadle just like swears at him and they bleep it out, but it's fucking weird. That really happens, Aiden. I'm not making that up.
He goes on a racist rant.
You know what? They bleep it out. That's a real scene.
Oh, do they really bleep it out?
They bleep it out. He
that's
he
crazy.
screams at him.
Yeah.
And so they decide that Bugs Bunny, well, they start playing and they can't get the game to LeBron or something. And Bugs Bunny takes the shot and he sacrifices his life and it destroys algae rhythm and destroys the, like, you know, everything. And everyone starts going back to the real world. They're not trapped anymore. But then they all, like, send him off and he, like, turns into light and goes into heaven.
Bugs.
Yeah.
Bugs Bunny.
Tunes can't die.
That's the end of Bugs Bunny?
It's a testament to the weakness of Al Jazeera's side character. What's his, you know, he has like this little blue sidekick that's sort of like a technological friend.
Little robot thing.
Yeah, he's kind of like an Iago from Aladdin, or a Abu from Aladdin, or Raja from Aladdin. You know, he's like this sort of
like the lamp
character
in Aladdin.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. Jafar from Aladdin.
Sort of like very, very shades of Aladdin from Aladdin.
Yeah, shades of Aladdin. But he doesn't talk, and he helps Al Jazeera with his bad plans and stuff. But he's such a weak character that we haven't mentioned him up to this point at all. Like, I think he does something for the good side at the end. He turns into a good boy. I can't remember.
My kids liked him because he was cute.
Yeah, and you got to have that.
You gotta have that.
You gotta have that.
That's what the Nutcracker didn't have. They had ugly characters and scary looking characters that weren't cute.
So, yeah, the end of this movie, LeBron's walking down the street and he runs into Bugs Bunny. Turns out Bugs Bunny isn't dead. He's just in the real world now.
Okay.
And they...
Yeah, he got Homer Simpson. In that Halloween episode where Homer turns 3D.
Crack, 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 crack. Now, was he saying crack or crap? That was always
I think he
the big
wanted
debate.
crack.
I think he smelled crack in the real world. He knew he needed to have it.
Because he's cracking, you know. I used to think he was saying crack. But it's Halloween, so he could say whatever he wants.
So true. I thought John Cheadle was pretty good.
You say John Cheadle?
Whatever his name is. Don Cheadle.
Big Don Cheadle.
John Trezier.
I thought Don Cheadle was good in this. I thought that he did make me laugh at one point, which is something in this movie. I'm just reading the Wikipedia for this, so this may be well-known knowledge. But so apparently the film sort of had a lot of false starts, and eventually stalled because Michael Jordan refused to return. So I guess they were considering him for a long time. And they also considered several spin-off possibilities, including one with Jeff Gordon, Tiger Woods, and Tony Hawk. I guess that's three separate potential ideas. I don't think all three of them would have been in there.
The Tony Hawk one would have been fucking sick.
That would have been incredible.
Yeah,
I think it would have been. Tony Hawk is very, very charismatic. He's very good.
yeah. Imagine him and Bugs smoking a dude.
Oh, yeah.
Doing that 900.
Tony Hawk one could have worked.
Yeah.
It would have been
Better
great.
than this
Like,
shit.
Tony Hawk's already been a video game character for so long as well. He would work in 3D.
That's right.
What about this, though? Tiger Woods versus Happy Gilmore in Space Jim Owen 3.
Yeah, what about that?
About Picture to the Zex.
There was also Back in Action. Do you guys see Back in Action with Brendan Fraser?
I've seen several Brendan Fraser movies recently. I've seen Airheads, I've seen The Mummy, I've seen The Mummy Returns, but I have yet to see Back in Action.
Have you seen your Mummy Returns after a date with Dave Hughes?
Oh, you can turn the Matrix off now. I'm finished.
Oh, you already started the second one.
too.
Same joke.
We did the same joke.
Well,
Wait, Back in Action is a Looney Tunes thing as well?
yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's
What the fuck
sick.
is this?
Yeah.
Dude, it's
Wait,
sick.
who's his co-lead? Is it Heather Graham?
No.
Jenna Elfman.
From Dharma and Greg.
The other thing I was going to say about this movie is it
It sucks.
its box office did itself back to break even. So I don't know how they measure that at the moment with cinemas not doing wide releases all over the world, and box office it means the first week only, right?
Nah,
No,
it
it's,
can keep going.
No, it's
But this movie was on HBO Max as well at the same time, so I think it was free if you have HBO Max in the US.
so it's just obviously we'll never know what those licensing deals look like, but it's I just wish I could Google whether this film made money or not, because at the moment, according to Wikipedia, it's broken even. But I'm sure that's not it.
Tell you what, HBO Max, I'll witness that.
Yeah.
It's not a 0% either. It's a 26%er.
Okay.
So it wasn't specifically liked by critics, but it's also worth noting the original Space Jam was only a 44%er. So
right?
that was also rotten. Yeah.
Yeah, no, people don't rate that one at all. It's not a great film.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
I mean, there's that whole sequence where he steals the Nike shoes from himself.
Yeah.
Because
can't play without your Nikes.
wait, what? Why can't he get his own shoes? He can't get back from the
Yeah, he
Toonverse?
sends
I don't
Bugs
think
and
so.
Daffy to do it for some reason. Have they held him captive or something?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think
Well,
so.
sort of, yeah, because they're going to get sold into slavery because the space theme park isn't doing so well, and if they have the Looney Tunes and Michael Jordan, that's better premise. What's this one?
Yeah, way better premise, because also they need to convince Jordan to buy into their cause, whereas in this one it's like actually both LeBron and the Toons will mutually benefit from playing the basketball game, whereas Michael Jordan just wants to get the fuck out of Dodge in the first one, and so it's actually on Bugs Bunny to convince him to play basketball for them.
Yeah, whereas LeBron's just like, hell yeah, I'll play. I love basketball. I'm one of the best in the world at it.
But he's also trying to get out. He made the deal, right? In the first one, the Looney Tunes are trying to win something back, whereas in this one, LeBron's trying to win something back. I don't know. Look, why am I even?
Did we miss anything? Are there any big points of the movie that we glossed over?
How does it end? They go out and the son and the father make up, and the video game goes on to make $1 million, and LeBron keeps basketballing.
The son is on the team of Don Cheadle for like the first half, but at one point he just goes full turncoat and he's like, "Dad, I'm with you again." And then Don Cheadle gets angry. It's also worth noting some of the players on Don Cheadle's team are like, one of them's like a giant spider, and they're doing things with the ball that I'm not sure are within the regulations of normal basketball. That threw me off a little as someone who's like very into rules. But there's also a moment that I really liked, which is it's just like a 1 second shot of Lola Bunny like assists LeBron for this dunk. And they recreate this photo that's like a famous real photo from when LeBron was at the Miami Heat. And like, I think it was Dwayne Wade, like did a no look pass to him. And then he's just got his hands up like, hell yeah, like what a good goal, one of those kind of celebrations. But in the background, LeBron still hasn't actually scored. It's like, he's like passes the ball off and then he's already celebrating and LeBron's behind him like about to dunk.
Yeah.
And they did that with Lola Bunny.
That's cool.
And that made the movie good.
Yeah, good. That's so good to hear. Yeah, so I guess I'd just apologize for not watching the entirety of either of these films. That's my bad.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't do well by your friends. Sorry.
I don't even accept that as an apology. You know, one time I got coffee delivered like 30 minutes late, and the person came out eventually and was like, "And you know what? I'm going to have to apologize for this." And then I just sat there waiting because I never got my damn apology.
Oh, it might still come.
It's not an apology. Yeah, promising an apology is not the same as an apology, though.
Yeah. That's you get the get out of jail free card is you just say, oh, I should really apologize. I am late and that is not the right thing to do. And then you just don't.
Yeah.
You're like, I know I should. I said I should, but I'm not.
Yeah, that's what I do in every car crash so that I'm not technically liable.
Exactly. I'll give this movie a 3.
Nice.
I don't know. I'll give it a 4. It's a 4.
It's a 4 from Hayden Quinn.
It was hard for me to keep watching. It really was. It's boring.
All right, I'm going to jump up and go, this movie was a 6.
Okay. You know.
It was not that hard to keep watching. I actually quite enjoyed it. I really liked the cartoon stuff at the start. I thought the basketball was cool. I just wish there was more basketball. It kind of took a while to get to the basketball. It was like just the last half hour. But you know me, I love movies. That's why I do this podcast. And there were lots of movie references in this, and I like spotting the movie references and seeing the different movies and loudly yelling the title of the movie that they were putting a Looney Tune into, all that kind of stuff. So I had a good time.
Just like with your balcony door open, you're screaming them out into the neighborhood.
That's Daffy Duck!
Austin Powers 2, The Spy Who Shagged Me.
Matrix! Elmer Fudd is Mini-Me!
Foghorn Leghorn! Yeah, well, you know, this story was a story as old as crime. 2.4.
Yeah, as I've said, Fucking hated it. It was difficult for me to watch towards the end. My girlfriend left
She left
me
you.
during this movie.
Girlfriend
She
left
Like,
you.
Mitch,
Yeah.
if you keep
Jesus
watching this
Christ,
movie,
man.
I'm out of here. I'm packing up the stuff. I'm taking the kids.
It's over. This is the final straw.
Going over to Dave Hughes' house, and here he's got the Matrix trilogy.
I was like,
He's got.
Peter Hellier.
I've actually got all 3 of the Matrixes. I have them all.
So yeah, it was just me sitting alone in the cold, trying to.
Well, that's unfair. That's not the movie's fault that your wife left you. You know, the movie's still good, whether or not you were crying while watching it.
I'm just saying I sort of just sat there numb, knowing I gotta know what happens.
Well, I sat there rock hard and full of feelings.
Well, yeah, this one, just a soulless mess. Didn't even have an I Believe I Can Fly. Didn't even have Hit 'em High featuring LL Cool J, Coolio, Busta Rhymes.
Did you think at the end, you know how there's like the classic bit where he's, they're 2 points down and LeBron is like not going to make it to the basket. I'm like, are they going to do the arm stretch thing again?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they were going to do the arm stretch.
But they didn't, so that's why it was good.
That's why it was good.
What did they do?
His son like threw him a booster thing, basically, like in the air. And so
Okay.
he landed on that and then got
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Oh, no, they went with the jump shot, right? The jump shot backwards.
But he had to, he was already falling and then he like threw like a yellow or
Oh, yeah.
energy ball that if you bounce on gives you like an extra bounce kind of thing.
I mean,
right.
I don't know. And that was the other thing is that, like, Michael Jordan finally, like, realized that he could utilize the non-existent laws of the universe he was in at the end of the film. And that's a way more interesting way to, like, I just think it's a way better version film than this new one. I think that...
I'd say that parallel's pretty true, though. He realized that he could use his son's video game technology to win the game. And then at the end, he sits him down and he's like, son, your game is fantastic.
But that was cheating.
I quit Rat Ball.
I really hope they release that game. Like, that'd be a sick game. It gave me NBA Hangtime vibes, but like a modern version.
Yeah.
And I want the audience to be all these WB movie characters and stuff as well. That would be sick. Mitch, what was your score?
All right. I'm gonna give this one a 2.1. Yeah, just a soulless piece of shit.
You're saying you liked the movie Dark Tide better than this?
Yes?
You liked The Ridiculous Six better than this?
Yes, definitely.
Hayden
You
is
like-
just putting
you
lots
like
and lots
this more-
of Space Jam
less-
visuals
Oh,
over this
Mitch,
I
chat.
like watching LeBron slam dunk a ball into Mitch's head as he gives his review. I just need to get a video of it.
And then he gets thumbs up from his
Yeah,
cranium.
Mitch, just before you lock that score in, you gave Return to the Blue Lagoon a 2.5.
Well, the Return to the Blue Lagoon had a lot of things going on for it. And yeah, I hadn't really seen the Blue Lagoon, and you know what, like there was a lot to hate in that movie, but there was a lot more I hated in this movie. And you know what? Maybe it's just because I like Space Jam. Not because Space Jam's good, but Space Jam works regardless of the fact that it's a convoluted idea in the first place and it doesn't really make sense, but it was this time where it could work. And it was fucking amazing. And this, no one really needed it. It wasn't really for anyone in particular.
It was for me.
It's not for adults. It's for Declan. So yeah.
Yeah.
So you know what? 2.1, not changing.
Okay. Lock it in, Eddie. We didn't say this about the Nutcracker movie, but it cost $90 million and it basically lost like $70 million. So I think it was also the most damaging. And you know, that's interesting to just think about from an intellectual point of view, like, oh, that sounds like a lot of money. But $70 million is gone making that movie. That's more money than all of us will make in our lives put together by tenfold, you know? Like, that is so much money to lose on the Nutcracker. Think about that and compare it to Space Jam 2. Space Jam 2 was a masterpiece.
But think about how much pussy Nathan Lane, the straightest man on earth, would have gotten from that movie.
They're like, put on the Einstein wig.
You know I'm gay.
And he's like, put on the Matrix.
Him and Husey.
All right, boys, we did it.
Sick.
Before we wrap up, I want to give a couple of quick stats for anyone who's followed the podcast this long. We have done 29 movies on the 0% list. There's 14 left.
Wow.
After this one, after the Nutcracker.
Whoa.
We haven't been able to find Constellation, so that's going to be like maybe one of the last ones we get to. And they've also added that Return of the Living Dead 2 or whatever it was from a long time ago. They added that to the list when we were deep in, but we're smashing through them. We got 14 left. Let's do it. It's the home stretch, boys. Hands in. Quack, quack.
Quack a doodle doo.
Quack it.
All right, so what's the next movie we have to watch?
Probably going to watch Stolen, the John Hamm crime movie. Hopefully we can get a sick guest for that. If they can't do it yet, we'll probably just jump ahead and do the next one. I think Cabin Fever's coming up real soon.
You guys want to hear my John Hamm impression? I think I might be able to do it now that I'm sick. This is John Hamm in Mad Men, Season 2, Episode 6, the scene when Betty is looking at him across the table in the kitchen smoking a cigarette after he's come home too late. Betty, what do you want? Betty, what do you want?
It's good.
It's pretty good. What about John Hamm in Mad Max? Witness me.
Witness me. Whitman's Peak.
Picture this, okay? Silver, chrome, all up in your fucking mouth. Witness me.
Picture this. It's an unnecessary sequel to a basketball game that takes place in the Tooniverse. It's called Space Jim Owen. Jim Owen, he's not in the movie. Betty, what do you want?
You know why people go to the movies? To watch bits of other movies. Picture every Warner Brothers movie. Plus
Picture all of your
basketball.
favorite movies bastardized in a basketball game. Betty, what do you want? Betty's always Betty keeps coming into his
I told you to
pitches.
stop coming to my work. trying to pitch this movie, Betty.
Trying to get out of the ad game and into the Hollywood game.
You know the thing about Don Draper?
Don Cheadle
You
Draper.
removed the D at the start of his second name. It'd be very different. I think it'd sound a little something like this.
Don Dr. Aper.
Buddy, what do you want? Buddy, what do you want? Buddy, what do you want?
Betty, what do you want?
Buddy, I'm busy. I'm Don Draper. I'm busy. Betty, what do you want?
Betty, what do you want? I'm busy.
I don't remember Betty hassling him that much.
Now, Boz. Betty, what do you want? Now, Betty. All right, cool.
And that's the show. Wow.